In this video, we'll be comparing the two great on-road oriented all-terrain tires, the Nitto Nomad Grappler and the Falken Wildpeak AT Trail. Let's start things off with their tread designs before moving towards their performance on all conditions. Starting with the Nitto Nomad Grappler, this tire is distinctively divided into central lugs and outer shoulders by longitudinal grooves. The middle area features S-shaped lugs with multiple offset edges, in-groove notches, and full-depth sibes running in all directions. And the shoulder lugs are smaller and more densely packed. They sit on a secondary rubber layer providing reinforced foundational supports, stability, and lateral traction. And the outer edges of these lugs are also pretty aggressive, with notches, multiple biters, and thick sidewall lugs connected to them. In contrast, the Falken Wildpeak AT Trail has a less aggressive design where you see 5 ribs forming 4 circumferential channels. The central lugs are angled with in-groove notches and rectilinear sibes, while the surrounding lugs have additional stepped edges and biters. And as for the shoulder blocks, just like the Nomad Grappler, they are also very packed up, though they carry better siping with a wave-like pattern that provides great wet traction. Now before we dive into the dry performance of these tires, consider subscribing to our channel. We publish reviews and comparisons every week and don't want you to miss out on anything. Also, don't forget to like this video to show your support. Dry performance is where both of these on-road oriented all-terrain tires shine, performing pretty much neck and neck. However, getting into detailed tests, you get to see minor differences where at the end of the day, the Falken Wildpeak AT Trail comes out slightly better, offering 4 feet shorter 50 mph braking and less than half a second faster handling times on lap tests on average. Now this is because of two main things. First, the Wildpeak AT Trail ensures a more consistent rubber-to-road contact without interruptions from its grooves. And 2, it has a relatively lighter structure and has lugs with more supportive reinforced foundations. And both of these improve steering responsiveness as they make the tire lugs more stable and less prone to bending as the tire corners particularly. On the other hand, the Nomad Grappler with more voided up structure and greater weight relatively faces more tread flexion, reducing steering feedback time and with it grip and handle. Out of both tires here, the Falken Wildpeak AT Trail gets to be the quieter option. This is mostly because of its whisper grooves, a term coined by Cooper tires, which block the shoulder gaps, restricting airflow and limiting air particles' collision with the tread, reducing noise, particularly in groove resonance. The tire also has a more absorbent rubber compound which produces less echoing of sound waves. And yes, although both tires offer variable pitch technologies, the Wildpeak tire still delivers better pitch sequencing in comparison to Nomad Grappler. And those of you who don't know, pitch sequencing or variable pitch technology as Nitto likes to put it, involves varying the tread block geometry to generate different sound wave frequencies that cancel each other out. Wet traction relies heavily on sibes, which expand and contract to create a vacuum that draws in water particles, effectively clearing the surface and allowing rubber to properly contact the relatively dried up road. And here, the Falken Wildpeak AT Trail comes out as a slightly better option, featuring a dual siping structure with rectilinear sibes in the middle and interlocking patterns on its shoulders, providing slightly better results. So while both tires offer similar wet braking and hydroplaning resistance, the Wildpeak AT Trail delivers half a second faster wet handling lap times on average. Winter performance is the area where both these 3-peak mountain snowflake rated tires are doing great. But getting into specifics, you see some differences for sure, where the Nitto Nomad Grappler provides relatively superior ice braking and handling due to its more thermally adaptive rubber, making it more suitable for icy terrains. On the other hand, the Wildpeak AT Trail performs better in braking and handling on snowy terrains, which is less slicker than ice. And this is thanks to Wildpeak's superior snow holding properties, which deliver greater snow-to-snow contact and traction on powdery tracks. This type of contact basically offers more grip, as snow likes to stick to itself more than to rubber. Now, of course, the tire's rolling resistance is what defines the overall fuel economy, with weight and tread composition being key factors. So it makes sense why the Falken Wildpeak AT Trail with its lighter build gets to be a more fuel-efficient option here. On the flip side, the Nitto Nomad Grappler with its wider grooves and slightly heavier construction lacks here. Both of these elements basically place more pressure on each of its lugs, rubbing them against the road with a relatively greater force, reducing fuel efficiency. Though surprisingly, when it comes to tread longevity, both tires still get to offer similar tread wear. Sure, the Nomad Grappler faces greater rolling friction, negatively impacting wear, but its greater tread depth still takes as long to wear down to the replacement limit as the Falken Wildpeak AT Trail. In muddy conditions, a tire's performance depends on the width of its grooves, as narrower grooves lead to faster mud accumulation and with it loss of traction. That's why it makes sense why both tires lack in this aspect. But yes, talking about less aggressive muddy tracks, the Nitto Nomad Grappler takes the lead, with its better interlocked middle section and greater tread depth providing relatively superior mud clearance in comparison. For rocky terrains, a tire should offer multi-directional grip and durability. Now here, although durability-wise both tires are similar, offering 2-ply sidewalls, the Nitto Nomad Grappler stands out in terms of traction. It offers a better combination of lateral and longitudinal tread voids, offering a superior multi-angled grip comparatively. Additionally, its dual sidewalls enhance climbing abilities, especially when it comes to lowering air pressure down. So its sidewall lugs on the more aggressive side particularly flex and provide relatively greater traction, especially when it comes to climbing rocks directionally. Driving on sand requires reduced tire pressure to increase the contact patch and enhance tread flotation. And here, features such as tires, softer rubber, and well-designed sidewalls are highly needed. That's why the overall performance here is seen better on the Nitto Nomad Grappler, as this tire comes with better sidewall lugs that spread out effectively at lower air pressures. The Falken AT Trail on the flip side could improve its sidewall lugs, though its lighter weight does help when it comes to climbing sandy slopes. So there you have it folks, a detailed comparison of these all-terrain tires. Which one would you choose? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.